Welcome back for game 2 between MudGolems and Na'Vi. We saw Na'Vi take the first game quite convincingly, just absolutely shut down the side of MudGolems, and they just didn't leave any room for MudGolems to get back into it. So we'll see if they can try it again. Now, Na'Vi, they've started up with a...
One by one, they fall.
What? Never mind, that was confusing. So Na'Vi start up with Lena and Spectre. MudGolems follow up with a Snapfire and Sven combo. Okay, so as we all know, the Spectre takes a little bit longer to come online. Purely because she doesn't really have many good farming mechanics, and she just needs a couple of items before she's actually properly effective in team fights. Meanwhile, the Sven always got that built-in cleave damage, so super easy for him to actually get his farm online. And with that being said, all he needs is like one or two items, and he can actually start making some work happen. Especially when paired up with a support like a Snapfire. She, just help close the gap a little bit. Got a slow as well. Morp's Kiss is always able to add a lot of damage into it. So we'll see a lot of teams as well been moving the Snapfire to a core position. We'll see if maybe that's something MudGolems are going to try and do as well. But I do think they just put it into the hands of Milan and leave it as a support role. Fata as well actually plays it, so it probably will just be in the support role for the side of MudGolems. So both teams already got their carries picked up, and the lean on Na'Vi's side probably be in the hands of Roger. Although, if they really need to, Iceberg can also play it and take it into the mid lane. It all just depends on what picks follow up. But MudGolems, they ban out the Slardar and the Mars. Looks like they heavily just want to try and focus down the hero pool of General. They've not banned out the Bat Rider again. He did a lot of good work in the previous game, so I'm surprised they weren't scared of that and tried to take that away from them. Especially with the fact that if General ever did manage to get on top of anyone and catch with a lasso, V-Tune will always be able to just use the Spectral Haunt and just get involved straight away and start chucking on the damage. So both teams just focusing their bans towards the offlaners. ET gone, Bloodseeker's gone, Mars is gone, Slardar's gone. We'll probably see a more defensive position 5 coming out for the side of Na'Vi to pair with a Spectre, because you don't really want to try to go too aggressively. MudGolems actually banned out the Bat Rider as well, and then instantly grabbed the Phoenix for their own side. So we'll see if they're able to put this Phoenix to good use. It's not a hero they've actually picked up too many times. They've only grabbed it once so far this tournament. Some teams just love picking this hero, and other teams just push it to a flexible sort of role. Never really want to try and bank a lot of their team fight around it. But Na'Vi actually grabbed the Spectre, which would be their position 5. So a good way to lock down Sven, keep him in place, at least until he gets his BKB online. So still the offlaner and mid roles left to pick up for both teams. I think Na'Vi, they need some heroes that can actually come online a bit sooner still. Just to be able to apply a bit of pressure across the map and just try and make space for V-Tune on the Spectre. And they definitely need to make quite a bit of space, even though a Sven will definitely be able to outfarm the speed of a Spectre, so see what they go for. MudGolems actually pick up the Beastmaster. Just a strong offlaner, puts a lot of pressure with the boars, can make the Spectre's lane quite rough, especially seeing as how all the supports to the side of Na'Vi are already grabbed, so there's not going to be anything like a Chen or Crystal Maiden or even an Enchantress, some sort of support that can steal away the boars easy and make the lane nice and safe for VTune. So 33 is probably going to get a lot of work done in his lane. So it won't be probably the free farm that we saw for VTune in the previous game. So it might be a little bit more difficult. It'll probably be similar to what we saw in the first game, but instead of Skeeter being the one getting screwed over, it'll probably be VTune this time. Have a little bit of rough go at it at the early portions. And Na'Vi, they're going to grab the Ember Spirit. This will most probably be in the hands of Iceberg for the mid lane. I don't think General plays it, so it's still just going to be... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be the Ember in the mid. So off laner left for Na'Vi to pick up, and mid laner left for MudGolems to pick up. A Storm Spirit could be pretty good in this game for the side of MudGolems. Actually, no. No, Storm, I mean, Storm will be able to zip on top of the Disruptor and the Lina quite well, but if there's ever a portion of the game where Bora's, he has to run away, it's pretty easy for the Disruptor to be able to glimpse him back and then set up for a super easy static Storm. So it's probably not actually the best game for a Storm Spirit. Na'Vi ban out the Necro instead. Maybe actually a Void Spirit might be quite good for the side of MudGolems. Probably for the fact that, he can still get into the back lines and apply a lot of pressure onto the Disruptor and Lina. And also he should be able to dodge the glimpse back with his Dissimulate. So that could be quite a nice go for MudGolems. Plus it comes online early and can start making a lot of work happen with the rest of the MudGolems lineup, as they do like to come online to that early mid game area. But Na'Vi, they're still sort of after like a frontliney sort of interrupting hero. I was thinking Centaur, but MudGolems banned out. So perhaps something... I mean, General, he does actually like to play Core Clockwork. Definitely someone who can do a frontline whilst also being quite disrupted in these fights. But even still, the only egg hitting that Na'Vi has actually got so far is the Lina. And you never really want to bank an egg destroyer for only on one hero. So they're actually going to go for the Pango. There's not much that obviously the Pangolier can actually do against the egg, purely because he'll be in the rolling boulder. So if this egg does start to go off, I think it'll just be Na'Vi going on full retreat. I don't think they can really contest it that much. But I still like the Void Spirit for MudGolems side. Oh, they are going to go for the Storm Spirit. We'll see if he ends up getting screwed over by the thing I was saying earlier, the fact that an easy glimpse back and he hasn't really got a way to dodge it all that easily. Let's see if it ends up messing him over. But I mean, apart from that one thing that can catch him out, it's still a pretty good game. He'll be able to zip around on the back line, so as long as he doesn't get caught out by that, he should be fine. But apart from that, all the picks pretty much in the positions you'd expect. Nothing too crazy coming out from either side. So, looking at these lineups, who do I favour? No, I'm not sure. I think I'm slightly favouring Na'Vi, but it's not a huge amount. I think these two lineups are quite even, to be honest. I mean, maybe MudGolems, purely for the fact that 33 and Milan probably be able to apply quite a lot of pressure onto Vici and make his lane pretty damn difficult. Meanwhile, there's not much that General and Roger can really do. I mean, they can sort of harass him out and contest him a little bit against the Sven and Snapfire, but I mean, it's a very high kill potential lane either way for both sides. The side of MudGolems have got a double stun with a nuke as well on top. And on the side of Na'Vi, they got a single stun, but with 2 nukes as well. So it'll probably be quite a crazy lane. I think this is going to be a very high action game, mind you. Probably mid lane's the only lane where someone probably won't die. I think Iceberg will probably have the advantage in the mid lane purely because he'll be putting a few levels into his Flame Guard, and obviously the Flame Guard just absorbs magic damage. Should just keep him quite nice and safe against the harass coming out from Bora. But Na'Vi doing pretty much the same thing they've done in the first game, all just grouping up on top of this high ground, seeing if anyone from the side of MudGolems is going to run into him, but they're not going to do the same thing this time. They're also going to hold back. Milan putting in a very deep ward. I think, did he get spotted by the vision of the tower? Because he got immediately pinged out. Yeah, he did. He got spotted out. So this is going to be a super easy deny for Boys Wanna Fly. A little bit of a whoopsie there by Milan. So it looks like MudGolems, they really want to contest this top bounty. There's not much that Na'Vi can do to really stop that from happening. Meanwhile, down bottom, Skier, he's actually pushing forward. LSA just manages to cast off before Skier can get too close. General is going to be applying the body box now, and Roger's going to be able to do quite a nice amount of damage. LSA connects again. General with the swashbuckle forward. He's just going to keep blocking him in these trees. He's taking a lot of damage from Roger. Finally, it's going to be a rotation coming out from Fata. But even still, Skier is taking a lot of damage. He's going to be forced to probably take Fata's healing salve. Plus, he had to use quite a few stuns as well, so he's not even got much mana left. So, a pretty good early start there for Na'Vi, just winning a slight little early battle. There's even the bounty rune still available, which I probably think Iceberg will just save for when he needs to fill up his bottle. So I'll probably try and hang around bot lane. I think this is probably the lane that has the most action. Even though all the lanes are pretty spicy. So MudGolems actually turn around onto General. Just sort of poking and prodding from both teams, just constantly harassing out with all their spells. But this is a little bit more limiting for the Sven. He has the worst mana pool out of everyone else here. So he's not going to be able to sustain it quite as well. But he's just got a dumper of the mangoes. I think he's got some more coming on the courier as well. Yeah, just another mango. Just needs to make sure he's got his stun always ready to be used at any point. We're in the mid lane. Borrow has actually got a slight lead at the moment. 11-3 to the 9-1 of Iceberg. See if he's able to keep this going. He even just keeps getting denied as well onto the range creep. Also got his bottle out already. Bottle still like another creep away for Iceberg actually being able to get it. Tune, he's not doing horrendously at the moment on CS 7-1 to the 9-3 of 33, but with the fire spirits coming out on top as well as the harass from the boars, definitely not the easiest lane, but even still he's doing a pretty good job with these last hits. Even just with the massive creep wave just applying pressure onto 33 by the tier 1 tower. His support's nowhere near him, so the ball's on this man. Massive. Roger, they're going to move towards Farter. Cookie forward, Ski is in range with the Stormhammer. Applying a lot of pressure. General's coming over to try and run a little bit of assistance. It looks like Roger and General, they're just going to be able to turn onto him. He's getting a few lucky hits with his lucky shot. Meanwhile, Roger might have overstayed his welcome. Farter trying to turn around and do a lot of damage. Roger's still super low. He needs to be careful though. Farter can just pop this stick and mango and turn around in a couple of seconds. Meanwhile, at top, Na'Vi, V-Tune actually manages to get the first blood onto 33. Meanwhile, Roger will fall, but so will Farter as well. Just trading kills all over the place, but I think what's surprising is most that up top, V-Tune and Always Wanna Fly actually managed to get the first blood onto 33. Very surprising. I thought between these two heroes, they'd just have to play super defensive, but perhaps maybe 33 just made a slight misplay there and, yeah, stepped out of position. Meanwhile, in the mid, Roger and Farter, they rotate around middle to assist their mids to get the bounty room, but does end up Farter getting it. Iceberg pulling back Iceberg. LSA is off the mark. Always Wanna Fly is rotated around, but Iceberg's dropping super low. Only one more hit. And oh, nice drop with the slight fist, but he can't quite get the distance. He will still fall. Borrow getting super low, but he's able just to heal up with the hit with the fairy fire. Milan even able to take the illusion route. Nice double cookie there from Farter, connected on to both of them, and it will actually let them get the kill onto Always Wanna Fly. And both kills go towards Borrow as well. Super well played there by MudGolems. Good rotations at key times. And we see Borrow's halfway to level 6 while Iceberg's only halfway to level 5. V-Tune's actually doing a pretty good job with the last hits now, especially after getting that first blood onto 33. Needs to be a little bit careful. Always Wanna Fly is coming around, but so's Milan. Milan's rotated around. Looks like they're going to try and make a move on to Always Wanna Fly. The field is there to stop him from pressuring them too much. But with the presence of Milan, 33 should just be able to become a lane dominator once again. Nice cookie there from Farter onto the creep, keeping General locked down. Stormhammer chasing forward, but LSA's there to keep Skeeter back. Skeeter getting the quarter staff, so I'm guessing he's got a what's it called? Morbid Mask already out, so he's going to have the Mask of Madness is his first item. Only about 600 gold away from that, so he'll have that at a decent time. See, I'm not sure if Milan can really just leave this lane, because as soon as he leaves this lane, it's not like Always Wanna Fly and V-Tune are able to like present a lot of kill through onto 33. But 33, he can't quite efficiently harass out VTune as well, just as well as on his own. So it is giving a little bit of space for VTune to get a decent amount of CS in this lane. He's already halfway to level 6 as well. You know, Borrow is rotated around. He's actually making a move onto VTune. Now we've got his level 6 available. Applying a lot of damage. The glimpse is there forwards from Fly to keep him back. But Boris is going to zip straight back in there. Not that he actually needed to. But Arcane Rune as well activated. Lets him keep on applying the pressure. Oh, what? Did you not see him? They zip completely the wrong way, but they do find him again. This Arcane Rune just providing so much utility there for Borrow. He's able to zip so many times. And it looks like Always Want to Fly will just drop as well. So 2 quick kills for the side of MudGolems there. Able to clear up the position 1 and 5. VTune's almost level 6 as well. So 33, sorry, is almost level 6 as well. So VTune's going to have to be careful. If he gets this level 6 now, him and Milan might actually be able to go on to VTune and maybe kill him. Especially with the Helmet Dominator available now as well. He's got the Centaur, so he's going to be able to provide a double stun. Well, faster and Borrow. Trying to deny the rune away from Iceberg, but he's able to secure it. Actually, no, it was bottom. But he will secure it anyway, so he has the double damage bottled up. Meanwhile, up top, Raw Risk committed now onto VTune. Stomp comes out as well. Glimpse back onto Milan, keeping him back, but always VTune gets so damn low. The last hit from the Minotaur does connect. Looks like 33 and Milan will pay for this with their lives. 33 still running away. Even Milan. Looks like he probably will just die one more hit. He will drop. And so will 33. So it does end up being a 2-for-1 trade. So it slightly favours Na'Vi in that respect. But it is still VTune being taken off the map. Skeeter moved into the jungle now with the Mask of Madness available. So maybe Iceberg or Roger wanting to make a move onto Borrow there, but deciding against it. No vision onto the high ground. Oh, they did actually have a ward. Maybe they just got a glimpse onto Fata there, so they knew there was a bit of support. 33's got his roar up in 10 seconds, so we might see someone make a rotation again to try and get another couple of kills at the top. VTune's already rotated into the triangle now. Also, it's going to soak up the farm from the bot lane. Still, not even a pair of brown boots at the moment. Super slow. Alright, jumps forward onto General, but Iceberg's there to lend helping hand. Stun comes out from the Min Centaur, but it does actually miss. 33 looks like he's trying to get a range of Raw. He actually still commits to Raw to the high ground, but there's no one there. Ooh, I think that was. I think he meant to cancel that, but he got caught off by surprise there. Whoopsie. That's double wards. Another little whoopsie there. Not getting much worth out of the vision. 33 is going to straight back up top and try and push in this tier 1. They do actually spoil Always Want to Fly. Looks like someone's pinging him out. Bora wanted to try and get another kill. Still not got his Orchid online. He's about 1,000 gold away. Always Want to Fly is actually going to move into him. Bora will spot him as he just walks out. He actually pops down the static field, keeps it locked in place, glimpses back towards it. The General is here as well. He is thinking about committing the Rolling Boulder. Bora though just hopping around to the backs, managing to dodge out the Rolling Boulder coming out from General. He's run out of mana though, doing all this juking. So Iceberg will just be able to apply onto him, and VTune's even get involved. Looks like they might bring him down here, and they will. So Roger just missing the LSA, but he chucks the Laguna Blade onto fire. Swashbuckle comes in from General. It's actually enough to bring him down. Iceberg using his remnant going forward, catches 33 with the remnant there. The Syrian Chains, LSA misses as well, but there's enough heroes around just to bring him down regardless. Even going to clear up his creep there. It's a super nice rotation from Na'Vi, getting 3 kills. Only losing always want to fly in return, but they don't care about that. It's just the position 5. So it's again, it's MudGolems, they definitely have the better early game sort of portions, with the fact that obviously Na'Vi have got V-Tune instead. And Storm Spirit's a hero that really works off of momentum. If you can slow him down in the early portions, he really starts to lose his effectiveness pretty quickly. So if they manage to get another kill on him 1 or 2 more times, we'll start to see it really heavily impact his game. He's close to finish off his Orchid now, 200 gold, but they just want to try and make some sort of move already. This rotation's completely spotted out by the ward on the high ground, so they're not going to find anyone. Even Skeet, Farter and Milan all rotating around with their own smoke. Managed to clear up the creep stank made by Na'Vi. Meanwhile, the Glimpse gets caught onto Farter. They will pull him back, but a nice cookie forward, stuns onto him and Iceberg. Try to lock him down in place. Always want to fly is dropping pretty low. Meanwhile, General in the back, trying to keep Skier locked down. They commit the Laguna Blade onto him. But there's not enough damage to lock him in place. They're just going to turn around. Roger gets destroyed. General swashbuckles outside of the pit, and it looks like he will escape from this. Meanwhile, Iceberg manages to pop back in and get at least a return kill onto Farter. So it ends up being a 2-for-1. Na'Vi only losing their supports, and it was, mind you, the side of MudGolems didn't even have to commit any ultimates, so they still got Egg, still got Raw available, as well as Mortem's Kisses. Iceberg will always want to fly. They've smoked up again, seeing if they can try and catch out 33, and they will find him. 33 is just going to go straight for always want to fly. Even commit the Raw onto him. He wants to take him down with him as much as he can. Zip comes in forward from Borrow there. Silences onto General. And the static field just in time stops Borrow from being able to lock him down. He's able to walk away from it.
Balance in all things.
Looks like Skier now got his Echo Saber finished up. V-Tune working towards the Manta. Desperate item that he needs to be able to purge off the Orchid that comes out from Borra on the other side. Without it, he's such a sitting duck, an easy target. But it's not like you can purge off a Raw, so you still got to be careful about where he's positioned when 33 still has his ultimate available. Looks like General always want to fly. Maybe thinking about applying a little bit of pressure onto Milan, but yeah, nothing's going to happen there. We're just queuing up the Bloodstone as his second item. Pretty typical item that you see from pretty much every Storm Spirit. Sometimes they want to go for something like a Shiva's Guard or a Yule's, all depending on what sort of matchups they are up against. They would stick to a standard build. He's actually going to swap out and go for the BKB instead. Especially a good item if he gets caught out by the static field from Disruptor. Plus stopping those glimpse baxes, so glimpse backs. Blah, blah, blah. Good. 33, just getting pressured. Side Na'Vi, don't want to commit too much to him, especially seems like he's so close to that tier 1. Any sort of TP rotations could come out from the rest of MudGolems. But it looks like Na'Vi, they want to keep trying to find someone. They've done a smoke up now. They will see Farter down bottom, but I mean, It's not exactly the highest prize pick. Meanwhile, Boros actually already rotated around. They're making a move forward onto Roger. They will manage to bring him down, but the rest of Na'Vi's already here. Even a Spectral Horn comes in. Vishu's getting involved, and both of them will just fall down. So nice little bait there by Roger. Intentional bait for sure. But again, they're stalling out Boros' game. Raw commit by 33, but again, there's no follow-up. The Stormhammer comes out, but miles too late. So again, that's another wasted Raw by 33. It's getting pretty unfortunate with them so far this game. I think the only member of MudGolems having a decent game so far is Skeeter, and at the moment he's just playing Farm Simulator, as most carries do. Well, down bottom looks like Milan got caught out by the static field. Pretty simple target. There's mainly just sort of skirmishes going across the map at the moment. No team wants to just try and heavily commit to try and get some sort of real high value kill. Skeeter's is happy farming up. Got the BKB queued up as his next item. Still about 1500 gold away, so it's not going to be anytime soon. Actually, he's just going to move straight into the Roshan pit. Pops the God Strength as well to try and speed this up. For the rest of Na'Vi, they don't actually know this is going on. They have no vision around this area. And there's not even a scan available. It will be up now. See if they want to instantly chuck it down into the Roshan pit, but even if they do, this is way too quick. That's just a free Rosh going for the side of MudGolems. Na'Vi, they do get the tier 1 down bottom as some sort of consolation prize, but I definitely don't think MudGolems care about that. They'll take that trade any day. It looks like they're going to group up as well. Going to go for a smoke. Just going to rotate straight down to their own jungle to try and find someone, but the only person here is General. See if he actually hangs around long enough for MudGolems to actually be able to get on top of him. But there's not even any camps that will, you know, entice him to stay here, so he's just actually just going to get away. Even a haste rune there on Borrow, just couldn't find him in time. Vtune queued up the Diffusal Blade as his next item. You think that when MudGolems have the Raw online, they probably want to try and make some sort of play happen, but they seem to just be using this ultimate very passively, not really eager to actually play around it. I would have thought that they want to try and you know, apply a bit of pressure before Vtune gets too fat and just becomes such a nightmare to handle, especially with the fact that they still have the Aegis available. And it looks like they will finally smoke up. Looks like they're going to try and get a wrap around onto Iceberg. See if they can just save them time. Zipfall from Borrow manages to get the purge off in time, but another stun comes out. It just keeps the lockdown time. Raw does commit just to make sure they secure that kill. Borrow's just going to keep jumping forwards. Fine and always want to fly, but he's going to leave that for Skeeter. They end up getting 2 pick-offs in the end. And there is a catapult pushing in towards the mid lane, so they might try and push that to take the tier 2 as well. Instead they're just going to turn their focus onto the stacked ancients. Just more money going into the hands of Skeeter. So it was only the Raw that was actually committed in that fight. It may have been slightly overkill, but I mean, to actually secure a kill, especially onto the Ember Spirit, who's having a pretty good game so far. Anything to delay him as much as possible. Especially he's got a Desolator online as well, so these are Sleight of Fists. They're going to be doing a lot of work. Especially the fact that it's just going to reduce the armor on everyone, so VTunes is going to have an easier time in these fights, bringing people down. Invis on Bora, waiting to see if anyone shows themselves, tries to get a zip on top of him, bring him down. So 33 is on the hunt for someone. In general, is still hanging around here, needs to be careful. The Hawk. Ooh, I think he was just out of vision there. Fortunately enough for him, manages to get away. Keeps his life. Boris pretty close to his BKB now. He's got 3.8k just sat in his inventory. Actually, I think he has enough now, doesn't he? Yeah, he's got enough money now to actually just buy it straight out. So there's not going to be the ability just to lock him down with the static field anymore. He's still going to be able to just keep zipping around and being a proper nuisance for the side of Na'Vi. Mind you, they've smoked up. They're doing a jump forwards. His Aegis has just ran out, so he's not going to be able to survive this. He didn't choose to pop his BKB. Maybe a little bit of a mistake there. And he's just going to fall pretty quickly. And looks like the rest of MudGolems, they're going to try and commit it. The egg is used. Iceberg just gets locked down, and there's nothing he can do to survive that. Raw is still available. We'll see if they can get catch onto anyone else. But Na'Vi, they're not falling all the way back. They're keeping an offensive position. Iceberg just buys back and flies straight back in with the Remnant. Raw finally commits down onto General, the Pangolier. They're trying to bring him down in duration. Does finally finish off with fires with the little shredder there. And then keeping it. Roger, still in the background, but always want to fly. Just melts at a second. As soon as Skier actually gets on top of him, he just eventually falls. There's too much damage coming out from VTune at this point. And they're just losing too many members now. 33 is going to be the next target to fall. Fire spotted out by the two illusions. Bora didn't even have the chains available. So triple kill even going towards Roger there. Ends up being a buyback as well for Milan. But I think once you count in the kill onto Bora as well, it doesn't say there. So it was a 4 for 3 trade. Because technically Iceberg bought back as well. Even still, ends up pretty good for the side of Na'Vi there. Look like Bora trying to get a little jump there onto VTune, but a little bit off his mark where his zip location, so he's not going to find anyone. But Iceberg though, he's going to run straight into Bora. He needs to be careful. Bora, he probably could have just orchid him there and maybe kept him locked down in place long enough for the rest of his team to get there, but decides against it. So VTune's just building towards his butterfly now as his next item. Just going to force Skeeter to actually build into a MKB. Never really an item that a Sven likes to build. But he's pretty close to getting his own Agonimus now. We're only 1200 gold away. Definitely going to be a lot easier for him to get on top of supports of Na'Vi. But the only problem that he's going to be having though is the fact that VTune with this Diffusal Blade is going to be burning a lot of the mana away for Skeeter, so he's going to struggle to be able to spam out his Stormhammers. Iceberg, about 1300 gold away from finishing his own BKB. Bora's now just going to start building towards that Bloodstone. Now, I am still surprised that he didn't just use his BKB when he got caught by the Siren Chains of Iceberg earlier. He would have just been able to zip away and he would have been fine, but maybe he just wasn't quite expecting the amount of damage that was going to come out from V-Tune. And it was over before he even realised it. But that is now Ags finished up for Skeeter, so we'll probably see them start trying to make some sort of move across the map now. Especially with Raw Egg and Mortimer's Kiss is all available. Roshan's up in 38 seconds. So they might possibly decide to just wait for that. They're just going to group up, move through the dire jungle, but this ward here, it will spot out the movement. So the side of Na'Vi know exactly where they are. Roshan is up in 14. That Eagle will spot it. But it looks like Na'Vi, they've actually done a smoke up. And they're heading towards 33 now. Going to try and take him down before he can actually get good use of his ultimate. He's going to go into high ground as well. Immediate Laguna Blade and Disruption Field. He's just gone in a second. V-Tune with the glimpse. Far gets caught out of position. Not enough damage to actually lock him in place just yet. Bora just jumps straight back onto the Disruptor. Going to bring him down. He will fall. Egg even committed, but the rest of Na'Vi's already bailed. He drops the sorries. My finger slipped. So it ends up being a nice 2 return kills, but it is the buyback from 33 forced out. But even still, there's enough space for them to easily move into the Roshan pit. And there's nothing really on the side of the Na'Vi that they can do to stop this from happening. Bora actually takes the Aegis again. I would have thought they would have given it to Skeeter this time and then just kept the cheese in the hands of Bora. I think he would have had a little bit more use purely for the fact that he can just instantly pop all his mana back up. Because with the BKB now, he shouldn't be able to just get locked in place. Now MudGolems really want to try to take this tier 2 just before the 30-minute mark as well. Can allow them to get a little bit of an XP boost over the top of Na'Vi. Jesus, look at these charts. This game has been really back and forth. Well, if it keeps on like this, I think MudGolems are meant to lose the next team fight. Just by how the pass goes. Immediate smoke up now. Moving into the dire jungle. No one on the side of Na'Vi's close enough though. See the side of Na'Vi now, they've even smoked up, moving towards their own jungle. Looks like they might actually run into Milan here. And it would be a pretty quick kill. Bora though, you get spotted first. Doesn't want to activate his BKB and actually lets Iceberg just activate his own BKB and then grab the Arcane Ring. He's going to get a nice bit of use out of that. Egg gets popped. Iceberg's able just to walk away. Use this other remnant. Just keep him trying to run it, but Bora gives up. He doesn't want to keep chasing anymore. Anyway, it looks like they will find General. They use the Rolling Thunder and it's not going to be a way for the rest of MudGolems to find anyone else. So it only ends up being the kill onto the Disruptor. And it was the egg used, but the Roar is still available. There's not really any need for the side of MudGolems to fall back. So we'll probably just see him to keep pushing forwards. Bora might need to go back and regen, of course. V-Tune got his butterfly finished. So he does have a nice bit of increased survivability and damage coming up from that item, but he still wants a little bit more security, building towards that BKB as his next item. Just wants some way to avoid the sheer amount of lockdown on the side of MudGolems. Meanwhile, Skira and Fata get a quick pick off there and always want to fly. Oh, Bora gets the sight onto General and Iceberg. Trying to think of which side he wants to go for. We'll just go straight onto Iceberg. He's gone, not Iceberg, sorry, General. He's going to keep pushing forward. Finds the grab onto Roger as well. Will protect himself with the Yules. But I don't think that's enough to actually keep him alive here. Iceberg, his BKB runs out. Iceberg tries to do the Syrian Chamber. Actually connects onto 33 instead. So there's nothing to lock him down. And this is now just free room for MudGolems. Take the tier 2 tower and they should be able to just push towards the tier 3 as well. Force out the glyph. Potentially the buyback from Roger, but he should be able to hold it here. There is a glyph used, but there's another wave of creeps here, so maybe it was a little bit too early. God Strength was popped immediately from Skeeter now. Laying into this tower, it's dropping pretty damn quick. Jump forward, actually gets a grab onto Iceberg. Nice disruptive field there coming out from Always Want to Fly though, keeping it all locked down. Horror actually ends up falling. Fire drops pretty low. Meanwhile, Skier jumps straight back onto Always Want to Fly, brings him down pretty quickly. It's just V-Tune left. He's still trying to stand his ground against all of them. Roger caught from the side. Bro just keep jumping forward, applying the pressure. Instantly buys back. Iceberg doesn't want to let any space. Jumping forward actually catches Meanwhile, V-Tune, he actually Spectral Haunts. Doesn't want to jump forwards though, he's going to let him keep forward. And finally he goes in, trying to target down Skeeter. He's going to turn around onto him. Just jump forward from far, next dodge, B will fall. The egg is dropped in the background, but the roar finally comes out, but it's not enough to actually keep everyone on the side of MudGolems alive. Bora finally comes up, and V-Tune actually ends up falling. General stuck on the high ground, so his Rolling Thunder gets completely cancelled with the rest of it. There's enough cleanup now on the side of Na'Vi. Milan trying to go for the TP out, but he gets cancelled by the Yules. So it ends up actually being 5 kills. Going to Na'Vi. An immediate pause having fire. What's he blaming? Blaming lag. Damn it, I can't even see the kill recap yet. There was a couple of buybacks, wasn't there? So Roger bought back. Did anyone else buy back? That was ages ago, wasn't it? Or was that this fight? Milan 33. I think that was a while ago. So it was just a buyback onto Roger. So it ends up being a 2 for 5 trade. And that was all the ultimates as well, expended on MudGolem. So nice little play there by Na'Vi. Does it cost them the life of V-Tune? Please state the reason for the pause.
Wasn't too bright.
Discord issues. Sure, I believe you. So let's have a look at that chart. Well, it doesn't look nearly as humpy as it was earlier. Mind you, that was probably it, wasn't it? But now it's just big numbers, so it makes that previous disparity look absolutely piddly. But it was a massive lead there for MudGolems and flying straight back the other way now. Ski with the finished up MKB was doing quite a nice amount of damage. Especially being able to go through the butterfly V-Tune, but fortunately, there wasn't enough sustainability to actually keep him alive. He's even going for a diffusal bait, not diffusal bait, a silver edge, sorry, is his next item. Just wants some way to actually get rid of the dispersion. So maybe he could have wanted a little bit more survivability and maybe go for a Satanic instead, but I'm just going to choose that. The dispersion is probably a large portion of the damage on the side of Na'Vi, so just getting rid of that alone will actually keep him alive for a bit longer. You know, General's actually pretty farmed himself, to be honest. And he got 1600 net worth, same as his mid lane, and over the top of Bora as well. Bloodstone finally finished Bora. Took him a little while, but he does now have it. But he has been dying a few times, so he might not be able to actually get a lot of stacks on it and get the big worth out of the item, which you do tend to see on the Storm Spirits when they do grab it. So we'll probably just see a lull period again until Roshan comes up and a team tries to contest the Aegis. But every ultimate is now available for the side of MudGolems, so could potentially see them try and apply a bit of pressure without having the Aegis. It's not exactly like they need it, but it would make things easier for them, that's for sure. There's also a BKB now finished up for V-Tune as well, so he's just going to be even more of a trouble to bring down. I think at some point Skeeter's going to need the Abyssal Blade, but he's just running out of slots. He's queued up for the Satanic as his next item. Actually changing his mind from the Silver Edge. But yeah, once he gets his Satanic, he's going to have to probably put his Echo Saber into the second slot, into the backpack, sorry. But it will give him some much needed survivability. He just dies too quickly so far in these fights. We will see smoke now coming up from MudGolems, making their way in towards the dire jungle. There's no one actually around here. The rest of Na'Vi are playing quite defensively by the mid lane at the moment. Na'Vi have actually just responded with their own smoke. Roshan, quite a long spawn, still 2 minutes away. And then MudGolems, they know Na'Vi's up here, taking away their ward. So we realise they're on top of their high ground. They're immediately pinging out the tier 3s. They see the courier coming. It's an empty courier though. Oh! No, it's not enough damage and it survives. Nice jump forward there from Milan though. Just manages to pick it up. But, I mean, this is the entirety of Na'Vi away from their base. MudGolems is going to be straight in here and start applying a lot of damage onto this tier 3. Probably going to see some mass TPs. They will just pop the Glyph now to force MudGolems back, but even still, they don't need to fall back too far. They're in a decent position to protect Roshan when it eventually spawns. And if Na'Vi keeps stepping out of place, they can just go straight onto that tier 3 if they need to. So far, I realise there'll be a ward there. I want to go for the D ward. Iceberg in general, they know he's here. They're charging forwards. Iceberg, he will actually find Milan. He's immediately going to pop the egg just for his own safety. Even the Spectral Haunt was used there, thinking the rest of Na'Vi was going to be able to go in. And now he's all alone. Big jump in there for Bora. Finds V-Tune completely separated. Jump forward there from Skier, but he gets stunned himself by the Lotus Orb. Pops his God Strength, he's dropping so damn quickly, he's just gone. Absolute disaster for the side of MudGolems, a full retreat. 33 just gets glimpsed back, actually ends up saving him. A little bit of a misplay there. Oh dear. Always want to fly, you just saved 33's life. Cheers, buddy. But even still, that is quite a nice win there from Na'Vi. That was the BKB and the God Strength used on the side of Sven, and he just melted in a second. And now this is Roshan completely opened up. There will be a Hawk coming in to scout this out, but I mean, this Roche is just dying way too quickly. MudGolems will see this happening, but yeah, nothing they can do. Especially without the Sven. So that's Refresher Shards, Cheese, and Aegis now. Aegis in the hands of V-Tune. Iceberg's got the Refresher Shard, but I mean, you should probably give that over to, I don't know, General? We always want to fly? Hey, you could even probably pass it over to Roger, go for like a double Laguna Blade. Maybe he's just going to save it though, just so he can reactivate his BKB. So this game's starting to look pretty scary now for the side of MudGolems. So V-Tune's really starting to get absolutely massive now. And when it gets to the late game, you're always going to favour the Spectre over Sven, that's for sure. Abyssal Blade finished well. Got the BKB in the backpacks. Got the Aegis, so V-Tune is now 6 slotted. We'll just probably start seeing him build towards like a Moonshard, most probably. Actually, he's going to go for a Radiance. He's going to look at ditching one of his items, probably his boots. No one needs boots, especially not a carry. So I think the side of MudGolems, they're a little bit lost now. And they did just finish up items. 33's got his BKB. Skeeter just finished up his Satanic. It looks like they're probably going to do another smoke up. Or do they not actually have one? I think it was being delivered in the courier. I don't know. They just don't have a smoke. So Na'Vi now heavily in the driver's seat of this game. Ags now finished up for Fata. So they are going to be able to have that long range stun available. Does it pierce through BKB? No, it doesn't pierce Bellamy. That'd be broken if it did. It'd be monstrous. The Roll of Thunder is actually committed here by General. Miles away from the rest of his team. Looks like they're just trying to go for the support. The Special Horn finally comes in. Boris caught in the background. He will actually get caught out by the Gek, and he's safe for now. The fire had already fallen. There's no one close enough to even get affected by the egg, so it's one key element used for the side of MudGolems now. They just don't really see the need to fall back. Aegis and Toe still glimpse onto Skier, putting him back into the dangerous spot. V2's laying into him. Ski's just going to dive straight back onto Iceberg, trying to do as much damage as he possibly can. Trying to stand his ground, but his BKB is half duration. He just has to fall back. Even 33 with his own BKB, they're just in full retreat. Finally, Bora jumps forward, gets the kill onto Roger with the assistance coming out from Skier. V2's dropping pretty low. Always wonder if Fly's going to drop as well. We'll see if they can finally get rid of the first life of V2. 33 commits the roar onto Iceberg, but there's not enough damage to actually finish him off, and he's just going to fall. V2 finally drops with his first life. But Skier and 33 already gone with no buyback. Iceberg got a little bit too deep there. He ends up throwing his life away. But then V-Tune, he just pops a refresh orb, dives forwards, gets 2 kills, even more. Boris ends up putting his life in a real dangerous position. Gets super close to falling there. He's the only one left alive for the entirety of his team. No one has a single buyback. Tries to zip in to take out the creep wave, but misses it completely. Real scary now for the side of MudGolems. No one even back for 45 seconds. Really long time. But it doesn't look like both the tier 2s are still available in the top and mid lane, so it will just be the bottom set of racks that MudGolems will end up losing. So not the end of the world for sure. V-Tune thinking about maybe turning around and jumping onto Bora there with the Abyssal Blade. Decides against it, just going to go for the tier 2 middle. Decided not to push forward to the tier 3 as well. Actually just going to try and focus down the final tier 2. Completely open up all the tier 3s for the side of MudGolems. So next time they lose a fight like that, it's going to be real troublesome for them. They're going to have to be careful how they take this next engagement. It's quite funny. Oh no, never mind. I thought it was the like 40-50 minute mark then. Actually, Moray jumps forward, finds General. But he actually ends up getting pulled in by his own Lotus Orb, but then roared to the Lotus Orb as well. Almost some fancy play there by Na'Vi, but doesn't really matter. They managed to find at least some pick off. So now Skeeter's going back for the Silver Edge. Desperate for that item to be able to get rid of this, but it's doing so much work in these team fights. Just all V-Tune really has to do is just survive, run round in circles, and the side of MudGolems will eventually just kill themselves. It's a pretty horrible ability to have to play up against. Octarine Core now finished up for Iceberg. Just going to be able to spam out the Sleight Fists even more. Become super obnoxious in these team fights. So V-Tune, yeah, he just sold his boots. Doesn't need them, gets rid of them, picks up the Radiance instead. Queues up for the Moon Shard. It's the only way he could really progress even more. After that, it will be buying the Aghanim's Blessing for himself. The General is actually TPing around it. Looks like maybe Na'Vi wants to try and... They are going to try and defend this tier 2. They even smoked up around the side. MudGolems can keep the pressure going. General immediately rolling thunder, goes straight in there. Ski is just locked down in place. He can't get his BKB off at all. He gets caught in by the egg there, coming out from the Phoenix, keep him alive. Does a good job, and even V-Tune is going to get caught by the stun. Always want to fly, is just going to fall from Roger in the background. Meanwhile, it's just V-Tune caught all around. Milan just dying to the Dispersion. He's just going to fall himself. 33's equally getting pretty damn low. He's going to eventually fall. Skier just laying into the both and finally brings out Iceberg. V-Tune only one more hit. He's gone as well. But it's just Skier left against everyone. There is the buyback coming out from the Phoenix to see if he can actually go over here in time to give Skier a little bit of support. But he is just trapped all alone. Ski just keeps going forward, gets the jump forward onto Always Want to Fly. Only one more hit. Actually gets the kill on him as well. He's dropping super low. Finally, LSA connects on Roger to keep him locked down in place. I think Milan just didn't want to get too involved. And he's just going to end up falling as well. So that's a dieback from him. It looked like at one point he was just going to back out and leave Skeeter all alone. But he was sort of being a little bit indecisive about it. Didn't commit in time. So it ends up being a 6 for 3 trade. I don't think anyone on the I don't think anyone on the side of Na'Vi bought back. Always Want to Fly did buy back. So he had to die back himself. So technically it's a 4 for 6, but still definitely favouring Na'Vi. But I mean, it was finally V-Tune dying. V-Tune finally died in one of these big team fights. So the side of Na'Vi aren't actually able to take any sort of big objective off of this. But Roshan, it is up again. It's got Aegis, it's got Cheese, it's got Refresh Roll. See, we've got an Axe. Just completely free there. We'll see if they end up giving this Axe to. Roger's got an Axe, General's got an Axe. Even Always Want to Fly's got an Axe. Iceberg, he doesn't have an Axe. Okay, so we'll probably see the Aghanim's Blessing going towards Iceberg. But then Milan actually now scouts out the Roshan. They see they're doing it. Surely they have to try and contest this. They can't just let Na'Vi get another free Rosh. They're not going to get it in time anyway. It's already gone. Both their couriers going. Did they manage to snatch anything? I'm not too sure. Milan's courier, it actually got the Aghanim's Blessing. And then Skeeter's got the Refresher Orb, but they both die. I mean, it's a small victory, I suppose, because you take it away from the hands of Na'Vi. So you don't really mind that much. So it's a cute little play. You gotta give him respect for that, that's for sure. So is this Aegis and Cheese that the side of Na'Vi managed to get? Is it Aegis? Aegis again in the hands of V-Tune. Iceberg with the cheese. So now they got to kill Spectre twice. I mean, just killing him once was hard enough. This is a real uphill challenge now for the side of MudGolems. I mean, not like it wasn't before, but it really is now. Skier saving up money for the buyback. Knows that they desperately need it. Oh, and Na'Vi, they smoked up and they see Borrow down bottom, but he's able to zip out to safety. Meanwhile, Vichu just jumps straight backwards from anyway, hits him with the Abyssal Blade. Looks like he's just going to fall. He does have a buyback, but he's probably going to be forced to use it here. Milan gets hit by a stud. Even the Glue Blade committed, and he's just going to drop. Oh no, Skier tries to jump forward, but he just gets caught out. He's dead. He's already used his God Strength. He's going to buy back. He's not going to have anywhere near his amount of effect. Vichu actually does drop down. Looks like General's going to follow in him. So Side of MudGolems have got something, but now it's going to turn around. Skier, he's getting focused on again. Looks like Fired's gone for the Gobble Up to try and protect Skier, but he's just going to draw up anyway. Skier is getting super low. He's desperately trying to survive here. Vitrin puts the Abyssal Blade onto him. He's still locked in place. He will finally drop down, and this just looks like the end for MudGolems now. It's just Borrower and Farsa left all alone. Borrower falls, and then that's all she wrote. I think that's it. That's the nail in the coffin. That's MudGolems. They've actually lost it. Well, that's quite surprising as well. I think the way that MudGolems have been performing in this tournament, I think people are expecting them just to go straight to the grand finals, but top shown there from Na'Vi. Actually managed to take it 2-0. And that was a very back and forth game. Not quite as a dominant victory as we saw in game 1, but even still, super top showing there from Na'Vi. Just every time that MudGolems seemed to get the advantage, they took a team fight, and Na'Vi just managed to outplay them. And just one off sheer skill, in my opinion. Actually managed to take that to a 2-0 victory. So they will secure themselves in the grand finals of the ESL One Germany 2020 online tournament. But MudGolems aren't out of it yet. MudGolems, they're just knocked down to the lower brackets now. So they will be playing. Hang on, let me refresh the scoreboard. So Na'Vi will actually be playing Team Liquid tomorrow in the lower bracket finals, and then MudGolems, sorry, will be playing Liquid in the lower bracket finals, and Na'Vi themselves are secured in the grand finals. That's it. Oh my god, so many tongue twisters. But hopefully you guys enjoyed, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow that I think the lower bracket finals are tomorrow and the grand finals are Sunday. Yeah. So it's actually 7 o'clock tomorrow as well, rather than the 4 p.m. A little bit surprising. But hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, you enjoyed my broadcast and my commentary. And hopefully I will see you tomorrow for Liquid versus MudGolems. See you later.